Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, so you me on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Temptation's Ballad. Yes, y'all, we're heading right back into it with Cole being lewd with the sheriff. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, let's see where these two go in this episode. Hopefully I won't have to do any editing, but if I do, I do. So anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and just jump right back in. Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alright. What voice? Oh yeah, he was talking like this. Oh. Wes felt like his mind was short-circuiting. Suddenly there were footsteps at the entrance of the office. His co-workers were returning from their lunch break. Wes shrieked before leaping onto his feet and grabbing Cole by the scruff of his neck. Hey, you let go of me, you little... Out! Wes didn't let the hand say another word. He dragged the rascal across the room and unceremoniously dumped him out the nearest window. Wes slammed it shut before slumping to the ground, his racing heart struggling to calm down. Nobody saw him, right? That damn hyena is going to be the end of me. Back. Let's go to the Market District. Oh, no, we've already done the Market District. Okay. Oh, the Marauders District. Okay. Through the Adventurers Guild. Nice. The Adventuring Guild was even more busy than usual as Cole, Sid, and Artemis shoved their way through the entrance. The place was so cramped that Sid had to tuck his arms close in order to squeeze through the crowd. Looks like things are even busier today now that the Firefly Festival's almost here. Remind me why we're here again? There's just a bit of Adventuring Guild paperwork I gotta finish up for our team. Plus, with so many people, this is a good place to find some gossip and news about upcoming events. Keep an ear open for anything suspicious. Suspicious? Are you perhaps referring to yourself, Colladai Bonebreaker? Oh, him. The crowd immediately parted to allow Val's massive hulking figure to pass through unhindered. Cole took one look at the crocodile's glaring face before darting behind Sid with a howl. With a scowl. Sorry, guys. You know, just once I want you to greet me with a friendly smile. Is that too much to ask? For someone who indirectly destroyed my companion's fighting ring and livelihood, yes, absolutely. The crocodile's angry glare faltered for a moment as Artemis stepped between them. Hello, Sir Val. I am sincerely sorry about what happened at the fighting ring yesterday. It was not my intention to ruin your livelihood. Val stared between Artemis' apologetic grimace and Cole hiding behind Sid. A disgusted scowl on his face grew. You've done nothing wrong, lass, though I hope you've considered my words to you yesterday. I have given it some thought, yes. The crocodile let out a satisfied grumble. Ah, some progress. Glad to hear it. Sid cleared his throat uncomfortably and scrambled to change the subject. So, what are you doing here, Val? Looking to do some adventuring party stuff for the guild? Not quite. I'm here to check on the competition for tomorrow. It is the Firefly Festival, after all. The biggest sporting events include the jousting tournament and the free-for-all brawl. Free-for-all brawl? Brawling for free. Or freeing the brawl. I don't know. The brawl? Isn't that where they just stick a bunch of warriors into a ring and let them go ham until one remains? Val smirked. Essentially. And that is where I plan to be tomorrow. Should I make a decent name for myself, finding new work should be much easier. Unlike Clyde, I do not have the patience to become a mere shopkeeper. Oh please, you just want an excuse to beat people up. I cannot deny I enjoy the thrill of a satisfying fight. Val turned towards Sid with an appraising stare. Have you considered joining as well? You are a fighter of no small talent. Should you impress the crowds, you would surely find yourself a more fitting employer. Cole gripped Sid's arm defensively. Hey, don't you go stealing my lackeys now. No, perhaps Sir Val is correct. Yeah, dry throat, sorry. I am considering participating in the jousting tournament myself. Should either Sir Sid or I score well in these competitions, it could provide us with an in to speak with the high-class nobles we seek. You've got a good point there. You know what? I'm in. Where can we sign up? Val jabbed a finger towards the Adventuring Guild reception desk. Early sign-ups are made here. Sid and Artemy both nodded gratefully before making their way across the room, leaving Cole alone with Val. Ooh. The crocodile glared at him coldly. Okay, what do you want? I can tell you've got something pissy on your mind. Val shook his head. Kind of slumped down a bit in my chair. Let me, reposition myself, ladies and gents. Okay. That's a little bit better. Alright. Simple. Your new teammates are too good for you. Cole smirked and shrugged nonchalantly. And what can I say? Sometimes life deals you a winning hand. Ain't my fault I got lucky. Val's eyes grew even colder. The larger man scowled as he turned to leave. Unworthy leaders are often swiftly replaced. What will you do when your friends find someone better? Cole fell silent as Val disappeared into the crowd with another word. What will he do if his friends find someone better? Well, Cole has done well for himself even before meeting Artemy and Sid. He'll be fine on his own even though they left him. Of course, it won't change much at all, but still, Val's words got under his skin more than he cared to admit. Cole, you gotta be good to him. We'll go back to the Marauder's District. Bonebreaker. Sweet. Oh no. Nya. Bonebreaker Library. The rambling sound of drunk mercenaries slowly faded away as Cole led his new teammates down a quiet hallway. Technically, Hamish hadn't finished their tour of the guild yet before their sparring room interruption, so here Cole was to pick up the slack. Sid and Artemy should really appreciate his thoughtfulness. Well, technically you didn't do anything useful whatsoever this afternoon. Your fathers did all the hard work of training and debriefing. Ah! Cole bopped the small snake on the head and grimaced as a similar slap sensation mirrored across his own head. It appears the mind-linking spell the demon had cast over him was very persistent. Alrighty, Noodle, you're living under my roof in pockets now. You're gonna need to learn to stay on my good side. The snake hissed indignantly. You dare threaten me, puny mortal? As far as I can see, you have no good side. His beady red eyes narrowed slyly. A sinister paranoia filled the air. In fact, you know this as well, don't you? Sense it through our connection. Deep inside your subconscious, you know there is a distinct lack of worth in your existence. Malice laughed mockingly. What a wonderful father you have. And despite your insistence otherwise, Hamish has done a wonderful job raising you as well. How disappointing that their efforts were wasted on a man who is nothing but a leech on his friends and family. Ugh! Cole sighed. Listen, I know you're trying to pull some demony mind games, but it's really hard to take you seriously when you're a tiny wriggling snake. Unhand me, puny mortal. Alas, even this response is just a feeble attempt to hide your true feelings. Ah! Go on, I can do this all day. The snake flailed his head wildly in Cole's grip. Our senses are linked. You should be feeling the strangling sensation too. How are you so unfazed? Cole smirked. I've dabbled in erotic asphyxiation here and there. This is nothing to me. Curses! My one bargaining chip! Someone behind them loudly cleared their throat. Cole glanced back to see Artemy and Sid standing by, awkwardly watching them. I'd hate to interrupt the intimate moment between Master and Familiar, but did you say you were going to show us the rest of the guild? Oh, right. The tour. I did say that, didn't I? Cole stuffed a screaming noodle back into his pocket before waving his hands theatrically. Allow me to show you my favorite room in the Bonebreaker Mercenary Guild, besides the supply closets. Ta-da! Cole swung open an uncharacteristically handsome set of doors to reveal a large, cozy library. Shelves lined the walls and books filled every corner of the room. Clean chairs and piles of books lay scattered across the room as though they were used frequently. Sid's jaws dropped. This place was a library? It has a library? A frightened pitch colored his voice. Cole frowned. What a strange reaction. In contrast, a delighted smile spread across Artemy's face as she rushed into the room. Amazing! This library is almost as big as the Grand Cathedral's collection! Cole puffed up his chest proudly. Believe it or not, Papa's actually a massive book nerd. He used to read storybooks and legends to me for hours here when I was younger. Despite embracing that muscled barbarian aesthetic, Papa values intelligence in the men he works with. He paused and scowled, which is a mystery why he ended up with Hamish. Why is he so... What is he so, fucking pissy about Hamish? Hamish is like a wonderful person. Artemis studied the library's selection of books while Sid lingered back timidly. What a wide variety of subjects! I've already exhausted all the reading material from the cathedral, but there are so many more options here. Battle strategy, adventuring tales, tax evasion techniques? Wait a minute. Artemis squinted at a nearby hardcover suspiciously as Cole hastily snapped his fingers. The title read Tax Filing Basics. I swear that title was different just a moment ago. Cole coughed loudly. You're probably still tired from your sparring match and whatnot. Exhaustion can make you see things. I suppose you're right. Artemis tore her gaze from Tax Evasion 101 and towards the rest of the library with excitement. Would it be alright if I continue perusing your book selection on my own? I am excited to see what kind of stories I can find here. Cole shrugged. Sure, go wild. Stay out of the shelves in the back corner, though. You're not really fit to read them. Artemis glanced at the area Cole gestured towards. A small sign was stuck on the shelf that read, For Adults Only. She let out an indignant huff. Oh, sorry about that, y'all. Why do you think so little of me, Cole? I am an adult. Clearly I should be allowed to read this material. Cole shrugged. Alright, sure. Go for it, Nighty. Oh my. He watched Artemis nod smugly before disappearing into the back of the library. A snicker escaped his throat. Our little Artie is going to come back a changed woman. What kind of smut novel do you think she's going to pick up? Cole blinked. He glanced behind him and caught sight of Sid lingering by the library entrance timidly. Dude, why are you acting so weird? This is a library, not a torture chamber. I'm not acting weird. Libraries just aren't my kind of thing. The Badger hung his head low as he fidgeted with his shirt. Not sure how Marrow's gonna take that, but I didn't know he was the bookish kind of guy. Full Story gave Sid an encouraging pat on the shoulder. Or hip. He could barely reach half his height. Relax, man. Papa's a chill guy. He's pretty happy to have you on board. A worried crease formed across Sid's brows and continued staring down at his feet. I don't know. I didn't really impress him during our sparring match like Artemis did. I didn't take much of an impression at all. Marrow said that the Bonebreakers only accept the best, right? What if I don't live up to his standards? Panic slowly soaks across Sid's face as he looked up at Cole pleadingly. And now you're telling me Marrow's a big book guy too? What if he finds out? Cole waved his hand dismissively. You're taking this too seriously. Way more seriously than Papa probably does. Lighten up, will ya? A mischievous grin spread across Cole's face. Speaking of lightening up, remember yesterday when we were doing that delivery job? You mentioned that you sent Papa fan letters when you were younger. Well, I did some digging and... Sid's ears drooped in horror. Oh no, you didn't! Cole pulled out 2 wrinkled letters from his belt with a grin. Nothing like some embarrassing writings from your younger self to break the ice, huh? Let me see what you wrote. What? Don't look at those! Fearful panic flooded Sid's voice as Cole flipped open one of the letters. Confused silence immediately hung in the air. Sid's heart pounded against his chest as he watched Cole's eyes dart across the page. Spelling and handwriting was utterly atrocious. The entire paper was completely illegible. Blah. Some words were spelled correctly in one paragraph and then completely different the next. Letters with similar shapes, like B and D, were swapped erratically. Some lines were skipped, others were rewritten multiple times. Cole slowly looked up from the letter to Sid's terrified face. How old were you when you wrote this? The Badger's shoulders slumped as he buried his face in his hands. I've always been shit at reading and writing, okay? It's such a basic thing, but I could never do it right. Cole squinted at him curiously. How do I explain it? I have a hard time concentrating. It's like my eyes see the letters, but my brain doesn't recognize them. And sometimes it just feels like the words are floating off the pages. One second, y'all might see. Mom and Dad even saved up a ton of money to send me to this prestigious school. Well, prestigious for a commoner like me, so that I can get more help, but... Sid sighed with a grimace. All my teachers kind of gave up and said there was something wrong with me. Cole scowled. What? Well, please don't tell Marrow. I really look up to him, and I don't want him to find out that I'm a dumbass, too. No, not that. What the hell are those teachers thinking? They just called you an idiot and took your money? Sid scratched his head awkwardly. Well, my mom kind of broke into their offices and shattered a few of their windows after she found out. Good. Your mom made the right move. All your teachers sound like total hacks. Well, they did their best to try and help me. I was given the same classes and lessons as everyone else. I guess I'm just a little dumber than all the other students. Ow! Cole thumped him over the head with a nearby hardcover. At least he tried. Upon realizing he was too short to reach the badger's head, Cole lifted the book with Mage Hand and successfully smacked Sid across the face. What was that for? The only stupid thing you did was believing the bullshit that your teachers told you. Let me ask you, how many people are there in the city of Axia? Sid rubbed his sore head. I think around like 50,000? Yes, 50,000 goddamn people. Do you honestly think all 50,000 of them learn things the exact same way? Sid fell silent. Oh, I guess not. Of course not. It's not your fault that you learn things differently. You're not stupid, and there's nothing wrong with you. Maybe you're just more of a visual learner or something. Your teachers were just too goddamn lazy to teach you in a way that's effective for you. Sid let out a quiet chuckle. The way Cole began fuming over his past teachers made Sid a little nervous, but he'd be hard-pressed to deny that wasn't a little reassuring. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm just really tired. Hey, there's no need to get so worked up. This all happened a long time ago. Shut up. I'm allowed to get pissy here. These people let you grow up believing that you're a dumbass. Like, who does that? Tell you what. Cole let out a frustrated scoff before pulling another book off the shelf with Mage Hand. I'll teach you how to read and write better. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right here. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks. If you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.